absurd seems completely sane.
So, you want the real story or the bullshit story? You want me to make this a tragic story or a one of redemption and cleansing? Would you like a story of devilry, debauchery, and awfulness, or glory and accomplishment? Which one would you like to hear? Because I could go any way. It was good, it was bad, it was good, it was bad. It's the Wonton song by Led Zeppelin. I don't own the rights to it, obviously. This song reminds me of that Muse. That's why I was putting it on here. It's the Wonton song. Led Zeppelin. By the way, I'll be giving away free tickets to the Airborne Toxic Event Show. So if you do come to the website next week, I've got one more ticket to give away. And if you're in the New York City area and you want to come hang out with me and my friends to go see that band I'm always talking about, Airborne Toxic Event, come to the website next week. Or will I be there? Yeah, I'll be there. Within 5 or 6 days, I'm leaving for Alaska, and I'm not coming back. Maybe not. I might not come back, depending on how it goes. I'm going to be spending 2 weeks in Alaska to try to refresh, and I need a refreshment. So let's talk about it. UVXY, right? Did you think that I blew my account up and I'm living back in my mom's basement again? Could have happened. Could have happened. Not cool watching options that were $1 go to 10. You heard correctly. I had options that I sold at $1.20. I think they hit $10 at one point. Fantastic. I had some 50-cent options that were lying around. They went to $3. That was awesome. So, if you had decided to finally take my advice, again, since I've been selling UVXY calls, we started doing this in October. October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. It took 10 months to finally get them wrong. Now, I still had some out there, obviously. Now, I know I could go on with this story. Whether or not you believe any word that comes out of my mouth from this point on doesn't make a difference. The only people that really matter are my clients. Now, do you think for a second, now, I know what you're thinking out there. Here's where he's going to tell me that he bought the underlying and turned that awful position into a winner. Sort of. I'd love to tell you that story. But you know me. I don't bullshit. It was fucking awful. It was terrible. But on Monday morning, as I opened the computer up, hoping that these things weren't at $50, to my bewilderment, they were only up, 4 or 5, right? To $37.50. I think it was $38.50. Not even to one of my trigger points of fear. Based on the charts, obviously, I had around $38.75. I had $39.50 as a warning. $40.50, $41.25, $42.10, $42.50, and of course $43.85, which, I never thought we'd see $43.85 ever again. Just to be honest with you. You know, I hate people that say, to be honest with you, because if you think about it, what they're implying is that all along, I've been lying until I've said, let me be honest with you. I'll be honest with you. I hate people who use that phrase. I'm sorry I just used it, because it implies that I've been lying about everything all this time. I'll be honest with you. Shut up. I'll be honest with you. It was awful. But here was where I fucked up. I'm short 250 calls. Granted, 5 were 50s, 10 or 20 were 65s, plenty of 85s, and then I've got those ones that we sold a while ago, 200s and like 100s that they're still not in any jeopardy of ever getting executed, obviously, unless a nuclear war breaks out, and then hopefully I'm incinerated in the first blast so I don't care. Let them come after my dead, rotting, burnt corpse for the money. Oh, let me tell you the story first. Oh, it was much more horrifying than I'm letting it on to be. For instance, the ones that are sitting around in my account, you know, they're a nickel by a dime, you know, and I feel no reason to sell, you know, cover those at a dime because I've got like 100 of those, right? Why even take the $1,000 out of my own pocket? They're gonna expire. So, with that said, Monday morning, the options opened up. Yeah, they were 5-cent bids still, but they were 20 on the offer. So the computers automatically calculate on your P&L if you had to cover your position on the offer. So when I woke up Monday morning, my account was down $50,000. I knew it wasn't real, so it was a little bit like the flash crash feeling, but during the flash crash, I didn't know whether or not that was real or not when I was down that $1 million for about, 25 minutes. I didn't know whether or not that was real to the point where I was legitimately sweating and you saw the video. Here, I'm looking at the UVXY. It's still under 40. There's no way the $200 calls could jump $19.80, right? Rational thought prevailed in my brain, and I knew there was just, it was just a temporary thing. But that doesn't mean that the ones that went from $1 to 10 weren't legit. Because, oh, brother, those were. Oh, wickety freaking weehaw. Wickety weehaw, my friends. Oh, that was real. Now, I had 100 shares from 33, so that offset some of my fear. I was like, thank God I held on to that last 100. Which is the sickest part of this whole story, is that I bought 1,000 UVXY. Maybe you saw the post on StockTwits or Twitter. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you care. Maybe you don't care. Maybe you don't believe any of this story. You're just waiting for the punchline. Wickety weehaw. So I had 100 shares, right? And, of course, in normal circumstances, I buy something at 33 and they open up at 38. I'm immediately saying, fuck this shit. But because I was naked all those calls, I had to hold on to that last 100. So next thing you know, this thing's breaking 40. And what am I doing? I'm not covering the calls because I keep thinking, all right, I'll trade the UVXY and eventually I'll sell the UVXY stock and the stock will come back down and the calls will readjust and everything will be all right. Next thing you know, idiot schmucko that I am, I buy a whopping another 100 shares. Ooh. This thing goes from 40 to 43.50 in gotta be, 9 seconds. This is where I'm concerned. So even though I'm up $1,000 on that 100 share lot, I got and at this point I'm like, I don't know what to do. There's no way I could keep buying this thing. The thing's up 10 points. And then obviously we had, they hit 48? Was that the next day? Guys, it's Thursday. It was a life-changing event. Now, let's go back to the guy that maybe that was your first trade ever. And if it was, I will just say one thing. If you decided to sell, let's say, a September 85 for $1.50 like I was talking about. Sorry, it was the September 60s for $1.60. And then they went to $10. You're thinking, wow, I just tried to make $100 and now I'm down 1,000. This guy on the internet needs to be killed. Here's the thing. If you just took that trade because of a video that I made a while back, that's irresponsible on your part. It's also irresponsible on your part not to read my YouTube video comments or to read the StockTwits comments or the Twitter comments, or more importantly, just call me up. Call me. Dude, what are we doing here with this UVXY? Maybe you should buy 100 shares to cover your ass. Oh, I didn't think of that. Why not? Because I'm an idiot. So am I. Let's be idiots together. Right? No? Want to come on camera? Tell everybody the champion? By the way, I don't know if you know this or not, but my girl, this girl right here, I don't have the medals. You want to bring the medals in? Bring me some medals. My 9-year-old daughter is this is incredible to say. Being a Jew, if you don't know anything about sports, there are not many Jews in sports. As the pamphlet that she handed him in the movie Airplane. You have any light reading? How about Jewish sports heroes?
I don't have the plaque.
Oh, all right. These are the gold. Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God. Oh, if only they were real gold and whatnot. So, my little girl is now officially the #1 9-year-old gymnast in the country.
I already was.
In the country. That was 8-year-old last year. It was a world tournament, but I don't consider it a world tournament. I don't want to insult you at all. But until you go up against the Russians and the Chinese, and you know about those YouTube videos that we watch, they're doing things that you're doing when they were born, which is crazy. And you're the most talented girl I've ever seen. These girls, you know that girl we watched on the YouTube videos? But right now, and part of the reason that I haven't lost my mind or, leapt off a bridge, we'll go in a second, is that my kids are just awesome. My wife, the family, everything is all right. So let's go back to the UVXY. What did this trade enlighten me into? First of all, selling naked calls is the worst thing you could possibly do. The risk reward is always against you, no matter what. You just witnessed it. Risk reward is always against you selling naked calls, especially in stocks. And now we've learned in UVXY where you can get a 30% move in one day. Now, granted, they came crashing back down the next day. We bought some puts. We made some money back. Yay. But then, idiot, schmuck, dickbag that I am, I was so excited. I was like, oh, look how savvy we are. We bought I think $44 puts, and they go all the way down to, what was it, $38.50, something like that yesterday. We got out. And all I'm thinking is, all right, the week's going to probably end off flat. And no. So today was the kind of day where, not that the market ever makes too much sense, right? But the VIX is flying up. So I'm sitting there buying puts on the Qs and the S&Ps, just waiting for the inevitable rollover and the kibosh. But the VIX keeps flying, the market's kind of going down a little bit. The VIX still going up, and next thing you know, the market's going up, and the VIX is still going up, and the market's still going up. And the VIX starts to come in a little bit, and the market's still going up. So, the same VIX move and the UVXY move that we had on Monday that turned into a 350-point loss on the Dow and a 120-point move on the NASDAQ amounts to absolutely fucking squat today. Explain that to me. I know. Somebody out there saying, well, I'll explain it to you, dickhead. No, you can't. Because generally when the UVXY is up 4, 5, 6 points, you're seeing a kiboshing on the market. And today, it was just some sort of weird divergence, which now has opened my eyes to this UVXY and the bullshit that it is. It's bullshit that it disintegrates, and inevitably it will be going down. Inevitably, when the market starts to go sideways again, volatility comes out of the market, these will be back to $33, and eventually they'll be at 0, and they'll readjust them and split them again. You'll be able to do it again. But if you don't have the risk tolerance or the money to wait it out, don't play the idea. Don't do it. Now let's talk about yesterday. So we had Monday and Tuesday, just in a frothy sweat, just losing my shit with this UVXY. Not to mention, I was long the QQQ, got stopped out of those, and when I got stopped out, I'm thinking, this is probably going to be the worst trade of my life. Next thing you know, woo, they keep going down. Between Thursday and today at the close, I don't own anything except a calendar vertical put spread on the QQQ. I'm long August 107s 107.50s to be exact, that we bought yesterday. We bought more today. And I'm short next week's 103. So I'm hoping that we tank down to 103. The 103s expire worthless, and I get to sell the August for 200%. That's it. No more UVXY. From a $40,000 eye-opening loss to $1,800 loss, that's what it all panned out to be. $1,800. So overall, still made money in the big picture, shorting UVXY calls. But this week, all said and done with the 50s and the 65s and the 85s, lost about $1,800. Because obviously, I traded the UVXY long a couple of times. Now today, oh shit. Well, let's talk about yesterday, because yesterday was one of those days where, again, what I like to remind people, and I've been doing this for 20 years now, right? I've had my ups and downs, and, you know, I've had some great years. I've had some years of doing nothing, and I've had some years where I've gotten it wrong all day, every day for 2 years. VWAP and the reversals trump everything. What does that mean? You're going to sit here, try to figure out Greece, Puerto Rico, debt crisis, what's coming next, summer doldrums, sell in May and go away. By the way, sell in May and go away, still officially not your best idea. We are a whopping 3 points off the highs on the QQQ. Whoa, that's big time. What was I going to say? Oh, VWAP and reversals. So what happens on a day like Monday and Tuesday, not only was I trading UVXY like a moron, every trade I put on was a loss. Every single one. One after another. Then there's no happy ending to that story. Monday, trying to pick a few bottoms, not using VWAP or reversals, trying to just find some deviations and maybe pick up some stocks, getting hammered. Shorting stocks, they're going up. Buying stocks, they're going down. Worst day. Tuesday, repeat. And then I said, you know what? Let me just cut off. Let me just shut it down, because this is not what I want to be doing right now. Wait till tomorrow, and maybe things will be better. Next thing you know, what? You hear I'm making a video, right, stud? All right. Yesterday was a kind of day where, and again, the reason I use VWAP and reversals is because that you don't need to know where the market's going. Who cares about the VIX and the S&Ps and the QQQ? Doesn't matter. You're staying stock specific. You're trading off the VWAP. We had 10 trades. 10 trades that all worked. 10 for 10. 10 for 10. 10 for 10. Wooba short, Amba short, Q short, I don't know, the whole Fitbit long. We were just murdering everything in sight. And then you get today, this utterly confusing day where the VIX is going up. I'm buying puts on the QQQ, thinking we're going at least 107.50, maybe 107 today. And it never amounted to anything. We had a minor little pullback, and then it was over. So, a very confusing day. But what is impressive for my guys in the room is that they all did well based on the reversals and the VWAP strategy that I talk about. My problem is I am so encumbered. I'm so, what's the word I'm looking for? My diversification was too diversified. I had too many things going on. Positions in that account. Options in this account. Positions with hedges on that account. No hedges over there. I got 9 different accounts that I was managing. So I just hit the monster key. I was like, listen, we're done. We're cashing out of every stock. Every stock. I'm talking, didn't matter if it was a loss or a gain. Obviously started with U.S. Steel last week. Oh, man, what a horror show. No more Steel, no more Alcoa. No more FEYE, no more Cena. No more Rambus. Remember Rambus? No more. What else did we have? No more rig. No more SRPT. No more CLDX. Nothing. I got 400 shares of fuel, which I thought were executed the other day, but apparently they're not. And also, sometimes having too many accounts, you lose track of what the hell you're doing. So now I am back to just focusing on one thing. I think the market, and I know this is crazy coming out of my mouth, I think the market's going down. Oh boy. Yeah. Whether or not Greece schmeece, I don't know. Puerto Rico debt crisis, I don't know. I just think this market, and again, it's not about any of that stuff. It's about the people that control the market, the manipulators, the 1%, whatever you call them, whether or not they're feeling the same frustration as I am. If the market can't go up, can't go up, can't go up, can't go up, keep bouncing, keep bouncing, keep bouncing. It looks like we want to correct, it's up to them whether or not they hit the sell button and let the market breathe a little bit and we get a 10% pullback. It's not up to anybody else but the people that control the market, the they. That's what it's going to come down to. Whether or not the frustration that I'm feeling, if they start to feel it. Because I feel that this market is, not only has it run out of steam, I don't see where the leadership's going to come from. And obviously, I've never thought the economy was getting any better. Because again, if I had to find a job, I'm sure as hell I'd be unemployed till the day I die. I know people that still can't find jobs. I don't believe in the economy. I don't believe in politics. Who the hell is going to be president? I'd vote for Trump before anybody else. I have no idea what the future of America is going. But it all comes back to the government controlling the stock market, not letting it go down. Government, i.e. the Illuminati or the they. And if you don't believe the market's manipulated, how the fuck did we get to 18,000 in this environment? Yeah? Really? That's been my whole premise since 2012. I was like, you know what? It seems like the market's just owned by the government, that they're controlling it. So I figure they're going to just rally it till the end of the presidency. And it still might work out. 143, January 17th, 2017. Who thought we'd be at 111, right? When I was starting to make those crazy calls of 120 on the QQQ, that was when they were at $76. That I thought we can get to 120 by the end of this year. We're right on target, unless we sell off now. All that being said, my friends, and I'm glad you waited 22 minutes for the conclusion of this video. All that being said, let's take away something from this video. Never sell a naked call on anything, no matter what you do. Don't ever do it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it unless you have the patience and the money to withstand 2, 3, 4, 500% in your face. There's really no benefit of it. Trying to pick the market and where it's going to go, virtually impossible. Stick with the VWAP and the reversals, and we go 10 for 10 on a Wednesday. So, what does that tell me? Hey, asshole, maybe you should forget about the UVXY. Forget about you trying to time when this market's finally going to sell off. You just said if you stick with the reversals and the VWAP trades that they're working pretty well for you. Here's an idea, asshole. How about you just do those? Yes, right. But yet, here I am, glutton for punishment. I got to know when UVXY to 0 and the market's never going down, but then it is going down, blah, blah, blah. Who cares? Who cares? AMBA, it's gapped up, rolls over, goes red, short it. Buy the $100 puts, make 50% in 9 minutes. Those are the trades you want to be doing right now. Anyway, I want to just thank the last, couple of guys. And also, for you people out there that really need to know. I mean, again, I don't care if you're skeptical. You should be. That's why, again, my buddy, well, I can't call him my buddy. I've only banned one person, or two people. One guy just kept writing nasty words and Jew hate and gay bashing on my on my videos. Then there came this guy, Joe, and he's probably very excited I'm talking about him. I didn't care about you being skeptical and calling me out, wanting to know what I was trading, which is crazy because I've invited you into the chat room for a trade-off 1,000 times. I was willing to pay you cash to show up, and you still didn't show up. So that just made me think that you're just a fraud yourself, right? But once you started posting that I was saying something and doing something else, that's a complete lie. Once you started posting that I was doing trades and then saying I was making money on them when I wasn't, or losing money on them when I wasn't, you're just flat out lying, and you needed to be banned. You could say whatever you want about me and my videos. I'm in schmuck on the internet making videos. 7 years later, maybe you should say, this dude's still doing it, maybe I should check it out. Bull. That's the people that are on my website. The guys that say, well, you know what? He has been making these videos for 2 years, 7 years. Maybe he knows what he's talking about. Maybe I should check it out. Because that's that's how easy it is, kids. Show up. You hang out with me for 2 weeks. If you're a trader, if you're an investor, if you're looking to learn, or if you're just curious to hear me during the day and what I have to say to prove yourself right, show up. 2 weeks, 10 full days, you could hang out with me and see for yourself. I don't think there's any other way other than what I'm going to suggest right now. I've got a nice core of guys that are trading with me, right? They're the ones that know that I was saying, you got to be buying this UVXY here at $33.33. And if it breaks $39.50, you got to be buying it here. And today, I said, $38.50 was our UVXY buy today. Now, of course, schmucko that I am, hits 40, I'm selling half. At least I held 100 shares today to 42. Whoa. But I'm making all these calls. What the hell am I selling this thing? And why am I not buying 1,000 shares? I'm just a little bitch. That's what it comes down to. But my suggestion now is, and I've asked the guys in the room, would you be willing to talk to some new guys to get your perspective, give them your perspective of what's been happening over the last week, 2 weeks, month, 3 months, to the people that are interested in joining the cause. I'm calling it a party room. I'm calling it a fraternity of traders. Because, hang on, I think I'm dead. Because it's not a seminar, it's not a class, it's an ongoing event where you get to hang out with me. Most of these guys are signing up for a year. You pay one price, it's like an amusement park. We talk on the phone, I give them lessons, we did a little options today. It's basically pick my brain for a year. It's not stock picks. I show you what has worked for me in the past. I teach you how to isolate those trades, how to find those trades. And today, one of my students says, hey, this WD looks like that blow off top reversal that you're always talking about. Do you think we should short it? And I said, boom, exactly. Take a look at WD. I've never heard of this stock in my life, right? WD. But he said, this is the setup that you taught me that I should be looking out for. Should I short it? And I said, yes, that's the setup. I said, it's a thin stock, meaning it has not that much volume, so you might not want to take too much size, but the trade worked. I showed someone what to look for. They found a trade, and they put it on, and they made money, so we're all happy. I feel like I've done my job. They are learning something, and they've made money from what I taught them. That's it. That's what it really comes down to. You want to learn. You're not going to learn how to trade from a book. You're not going to learn how to trade in 2 weeks. You're not going to learn how to trade in a month. You're not going to learn how to trade from just getting stock picks. You're not going to learn to trade from some chat room with 600 people in it where the guy in the room tells you to buy a stock after he buys it. Guys, it's only 20 or 30 of us. We're not controlling anything. But if you're in a chat room and you got a stock with 200,000 shares on it, right? And you buy 10,000 shares of a stock, and then you tell 600 people, all right, I think you should get in right now. Do you think that guy's not selling into the strength of you 600 people buying it after he just bought it and then told you to buy it? That's how it's done. That's the scam. That's how it is. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, call me. I'll tell you all about it because I know firsthand how it happens, who does it, when it happens, and how you can get destroyed on what seems like these great picks. Oh, he told us to buy it at 265 and it went to 285. But did you sell it at 285? No, you got caught holding the bag because he told you at 280. It might have went to 285. So he can say he bought it at 265 and 285, but you got in 280 and then it went back down to 265 and you left holding the bag. Again, I'm not a genius, but I will show you how to read and the 4 or 5 ways that you should play this VWAP, how to find these reversals, how to isolate a blow off top. And in those 3 statements right there, that's all you need. There's 1,000 things to do wrong. There's 5 things you could do right. First, I teach you all the things that you're going to be doing right, what's going on in your head, how you're feeling, how to adjust, why these things, how these things happen. And then there's the 3 things that work. So first you got to make sure you don't do the 1,000 things wrong and then find those 3 things that work. And that's it. That's what it really comes down to. So to me, and again, I treat this as a club, paying me for a year of my time for a couple $1,000, that's an insult to me. But I do it anyway. Because I figure, hey, I'm sitting here anyway watching the market. I might as well teach a little bit for a couple hours a day. And then, do some options. I teach people about options. I teach people, that's what it really is. That's what it comes down to. So again, if you're one of those guys that's hemming and hawing, debating whether or not you want to do this, or if you're just curious, 3 or 4 of my guys have given me permission. And if you're interested, send me an email. They'll talk to you. Now, again, for you skeptics out there, I could just be giving you the phone number to my best friend, Mike. You call, hey, Mike, is this guy all he's cracked up to be? Oh, man, I made 30 grand in a week off his picks. So again, in reality, in theory, you'll never know who you're talking to on the other line. But if you're that skeptical, you're never going to do anything, okay? Right? But you should be. You should be. That's why testimonials mean nothing. But my friends are offering, or my guys in the room are offering for a conversation with you if you really want to hear them from somebody that's been a part of what we're doing. I'm going to pass out. But the best way to do it is send me an email. And I know some of you guys, I lost you somewhere. I had like a whole I was finally getting back to all the emails that people sent me. And now it's like nobody got back to me this time. It was a weird week. But hey, listen. Check your email. Check your spam box. Maybe it went in there. Wow, this is like a half an hour. So let me go. Have a good weekend. Don't blow yourselves up. God bless America, and I hope it crashes and burns on Monday. Peace.